Hey there, I'm Eliza with Ancestral Evolution, and today we're talking about the inconvenient truths about raising chickens. While some of these points may seem obvious to you, I encourage you to stick around till the end of the video and the final, most important inconvenient truth about chickens, because you may be surprised. All right, so number one, chickens don't start laying eggs until they're about 6 months old on average. Like pretty much any other animal, it takes a while for chickens to reach maturity to where they can reproduce and produce eggs. That means that you're going to have to care for and feed your chickens from the time that they pop out of their eggs as little teeny tiny guys until they are at their point of laying. On average, give or take a little, you can figure that you're going to have to feed each one of your chickens about 15 pounds of food to get it from little baby chicken until point of lay. Second inconvenient truth about chickens is that everybody loves a chicken dinner. Can you think of a predator that lives in your area? Maybe it's coyotes, maybe it's owls, maybe it's hawks, maybe it's raccoons, maybe it's your neighborhood dog. They all love chicken dinners. So you're gonna have to put some thought into how you protect your chickens and what measures you're gonna have to foil these predators that you have in your area. Number three is that if you have a rooster, roosters are very noisy, first of all. They crow at all times of day, not just in the morning, but at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock at night, sometimes even 8 o'clock in the evening. I have heard our rooster crowing when we put them up for bed in the evening, and he's still making noise in the coop crowing. So yes, roosters are noisy. In addition, if you have a rooster, you have to be prepared for some unpleasant copulation between your rooster and your hens. This can be a little bit disturbing and is not the most pleasant thing to be watching. Number four, chickens poop a lot. And you're gonna have to clean up said poop. Most people will use bedding of some kind to kind of absorb some of this. We use pine shavings. Some people use hemp. Some people use sand. Some people have various ways to deal with this. But you're gonna have to clean up quite a bit of poop on a pretty regular basis. So if that's something you're not cool with, then keep that in mind. Also, bedding for your chickens can be a fairly significant expense. Pine shavings are probably the cheapest. We go through about 9 or 10 big containers of pine shavings a year, and that costs us on the order of about $50 or $60 depending. That's for a flock of about 10 or 11 birds. So if you have a larger flock, you may be going through more. There are some ways to save on that, but again, you're gonna be having to clean up poop, and you're probably gonna have to pay for bedding of some kind. Number five, chickens, like human beings, go through sort of menopause, shall we say, chickenopause, after about year 2 or 3. They significantly cut down on their egg laying. Now, you may have some chickens with good nutrition and good care, and depending on the breed of chicken, who can continue laying periodically up into their later years, but on the whole, chickens are not going to be laying very much after year 3. Average lifespan of a chicken is between 5 and 7 years. So at that point, you have to make a choice. Are your chickens your pets, and are you going to continue to feed them and take care of them through the rest of their lives? Or are you going to process these birds for stew hens at about 3 years old, which is what we choose to do. If you figure that each chicken eats about 1/4 of a pound a day of feed, then over a course of a year, that chicken is going to require about 90 pounds of food to feed it. In our area, the cheap feed, like the cheap co-op, plain Jane, layer food, is about $17 for 50 pounds. The really good soy-free organic food in our area is about $45 for 50 pounds. For each chicken that you have, if you're buying the super cheap feed, you're going to be paying about $31 a year. If you're buying the really expensive feed, you're going to be paying about $81 a year in food for that chicken. Now, if you have a flock of 6 chickens, say, if you're feeding your flock of 6 chickens the cheap co-op chicken food, you are going to be paying about $190 a year in food. If you're giving them the organic food, you're going to be paying almost $500 a year. So this is worth thinking about and budgeting for. When you first get your chickens, you should think about whether these are going to be pets or will these be stew hens. We choose not to name our chickens for this reason. The most important inconvenient fact about raising your own chickens, at least inconvenient for some of the powers that be, is that it makes you less dependent on the food supply and it makes you more self-sufficient. Having chickens in your backyard makes you independent of grocery stores and big food in general. Be a rebel, raise your own chickens. You can do it. While the earlier points of this video do ring true, you need to think about them and you need to have solutions for these issues. If you have the space and the ability to get some backyard chickens, I highly recommend you do it. Be the master of your own destiny and create your own supply of eggs for yourself and your family. All right, if you have thoughts or comments, please leave them down below. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you have not checked it out yet, check out our all-natural tallow soap at ancestralevolution.net. All right, we'll see you next time.